for Santa Claus Parade 2022. I think we're loud enough. Here we go. Get ready. We're at the front of the parade. The parade goes all the way. You're cold? Yeah, it's cold out here. It's pretty cold. Ho, ho, ho. Parading. All right, Stanley. Yes.
A little cold. It's a little cold.
A little cold.
Having a great time, though.
Having a great time. Everyone else having a great time. Yes.
I feel bad for those who are on the outside.
Yeah. I got the heat right here. Cranked.
This year, have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Say hi, Joey only.
Hi.
Say hi, Joey only.
What's up?
Say Joey only.
Joey only.
I'm Frank McDonald. You're listening to the Comedeorological Weather Report on every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Joey only fights fires in Wales, British Columbia. He's a really, really, really nice guy. And Joey only lives in Wales, British Columbia. He fights fires in the summer months. He's a firefighter fighting all the forest fires and things like this in British Columbia. Joey, I'm on his podcast every Thursday nights on his YouTube channel, Caribou Weather Dude. That's Comedian plus Meteorology at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Thursday night. So I'm Frank Dalton. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report, Joey only every Thursday night. Say hi, Joey only.
Hi.
I'm Frank Dalton.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is the Comedeorological Report. I'm Joey Only, your host here in Wells, British Columbia. Listening to us on CFR 88.7 FM Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. in Prince George. Welcome, and hearing us noon local time Mondays at CKUW 95.9 FM. Good afternoon to all you meteorology students at the University of Winnipeg. Glad to be on your university radio station. And I'm glad you're listening because I know that all the meteorology students are talking about this show because they know that Frankie McDonald's on every week and we talk about weather. Well, hey, guess what else we got? We got Brandon Howe, of course, as always, because he's the man. And we got Janet Dermody from Cape Breton Originals. She showed up. Been a long time since we had her on, so it's good. She's got a whole hurricane story to talk about. And, of course, the man himself, Frankie McDonald, from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Frankie. The show is being recorded on the 17th of November. That's a Thursday night at 7 p.m. So you're going to be hearing us 2 days later on the 19th in Prince George and on the 21st in Winnipeg. So as we talk about weather, you're going to have to bear in mind that this isn't not always when we're saying today, we're not meaning necessarily the today that you are experiencing. So we do some time traveling around here, because time is relative in the radio communication world. Okay. Without much further ado, here's the man himself standing out in the street in front of Sydney, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton.
Frankie! Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
Frankie McDonald, how you doing so far?
I'm doing great so far. There's a huge snowstorm, 3 to 6 feet of snow. That's around 50 plus inches of snow. That's around 150 centimeters of snow in Buffalo, New York. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to bring mega snowstorm. Make sure if your shovel, snow scoop, snowblower, snowplow, salt up the maximum power in Buffalo, New York. It's going to bring a whole lot of snow. It's windy and cold in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now. All across the eastern United States, it's windy and cold. All the cold air is going all the way down Texas next week, even down Mexico, Florida, and all these places in California. And Vancouver's getting that in the river early the week next week. So later next week, Europe is getting a lot of windstorms in the United Kingdom, like UK, England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland are getting a lot of windstorms lately. Hey, did you hear about that? They're getting a lot of windstorms in the United Kingdom as well. They're getting lots of cold weather out west and things like this, bringing lots of snow. And the Great Lakes region is going to bring over 50 centimeters of snow in Guy Ridge, Ontario on Friday. I'd like to go bring over 50 centimeters of snow in Guy Ridge, Ontario, Owen Sound, Ontario, because the lakes are very warm. Lake Superior is very warm, and they're bringing a lot of thunderstorms and rain in Venezuela, Colombia, with rain in northern Brazil and those places around the equator. In northern Chile, it's really dry. It's a desert in northern Chile. And it's good. Summer's coming up in southern Chile in Argentina. It's getting hotter there. Sydney, Australia is bringing thunderstorms and rain and hail lately. In southeastern Australia, they're bringing lots of wind in New Zealand and getting warm temperatures in New Zealand. And Japan is supposed to get warm air, cold air fighting each other. And Russia, Siberia is so cold there. Soon it'll go down to minus 70 degrees Celsius there.
What's going on in Ukraine this week for weather, Frankie?
Right now, it's getting colder in Ukraine as right now. That's where Michael Senikoff is at.
So everybody in Ukraine who's got to hold on, and people without power there in many places from the last missile strikes having to brace the cold. And you Cape Bretoners know what that's like a little bit because you've been...
Hey, Janet, what is it? Hurricane Fiona like on September 23rd, 24th? Extreme meteorologist, storm chaser Aaron J. Jackass met me in person to Mayfire on Friday, September 23rd, 2022.
Here comes the story of the hurricane.
What about September 24th? How bad was Fiona in Sydney, Nova Scotia?
Well, Frankie, in all honesty, I never seen trees bend sideways like that before. So before I went to bed that night, the trees were blowing. They were like this. And I mean, I've had the flashlight on them. When I get up in the morning and I've seen 20 trees beside my driveway, if they would have fell, just 90 more degrees, they would have fell on my roof and I would have had 20 trees on my roof. But they fell the right way, not on the house, and they just messed up the yard. That was my yard experience. And then I left my yard. And then the experience just got really overwhelming. All the wires, it was like trees and wires and wires and trees were all over the roads. It's just something I didn't expect for Cape Breton. And then, just area upon area, and it just got worse and worse. And then it looked like the trees were growing out of people's houses. It was like, how is this my home? How is this Cape Breton? And it just, driving down the highway, it just progressed to getting more and more worse. And I didn't think it could keep getting worse, but it did. You're going down the road and it just looked like God dropped out of the heavens with, his hands and feet, and he just wiped out the entire forest. Not just a few trees, the entire hectares of forest gone. And that was the reality for us here in Cape Breton. Going through the woods for a long time and just driving down the highway, we're going to remember Fiona. Our grandkids are going to remember Fiona. We'll never forget her. What about you, Frankie? The pier got hit bad.
That means lots of power lines down on the corner of Victoria Road and Broadway. It was so bad there. Power lines down. I had no power for a week. I had to go to Subway. I had to go to Alexandria's Pizza. I had to go to New Moon Restaurant in A&W, get something to eat, and have an arrows to Mayfire Mall because my house had no power, couldn't cook the food and things like this. I had Chinese food during power outage and things like this.
Wow.
I was just going to ask if you had Chinese food.
We were lucky that the New Moon was open, or the restaurant. Where do you like your Chinese food from?
On September 23rd during the evening before the lost power, I ordered 2 tubs of chicken balls, 2 tubs of rice, and then 5 egg rolls.
You get sauce with the chicken balls or no sauce with the chicken balls?
Pete Galenko just showed up down in Colorado. Welcome, Pete. He's asking Frankie McDonald, did you get sauce with the chicken balls?
I just eat plain chicken balls, rice, and egg roll from New Moon Restaurant, Sydney, Nova Scotia. Janet, New Moon is on Townsend Street.
That's my favorite place too, Frankie.
Then on Friday overnight, power got knocked out. My internet was down. I had to get my internet charged at the Civic Center and the Joan Harris Cruise Pavilion.
Well, how come you don't got a generator?
I just get the generators limited for essential stuff like free refrigerators to keep the food cold.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're able to not lose your food. I had the generator going. We live in a duplex. I had my neighbors I let plug into our generator. Then my other neighbors I let plug in. I had 4 plugs on it, and I offered my 4th neighbor. I was trying to spread that generator to as many houses as I could.
Spread the Jenny.
Yeah.
I had to go over town to the Civic Center or Jones Harris Cruise Pavilion or the Steel City for the internet because my house had no power for a week. When the power came back on October 1st, and when my power came back on, I had no internet.
Wow. Who were you with?
And my internet got restored on October 3rd, 2022.
That's a long time to go without internet.
I had to go to the Civic Center and Joan Harris Cruise Pavilion just to charge my smartphones. And when I went outside, I had to carry plugs and things like this to charge my smartphones at Joan Harris Cruise Pavilion. And I had to browse the web there because I had no power.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, God love you. The pier was an absolute mess. I was so happy to see the power crew take Jolene's plaque off the pole, off the bottom down there. Because I remember
they had to deploy the army. The army was stationed at the Mayflower Mall during at that time. Power trucks and army were stationed at the mall. Military had to cut the trees down and everything.
Mm-hmm. I was out there, did a video. They had over 20 different companies, and there's 40 different tree cutting trucks here. It looked like, I don't know, it looked like a war zone with all of that tree cutting equipment. It was hard to believe that that was for us.
And those army guys are close to me and things like this. And I saw Brad Mills is another guy that lives in Sydney, Nova Scotia. He was on the Southborough Highway. He saw the army guys there during the prolonged power outage.
Wow. You know what else was Ron James? Well, they put that thing on. All the best of the best entertainers of Cape Breton came together, and they had that relief event at the Savoy Theatre. They raised over the $100,000, you know, for Fiona relief. But we actually got to go there, and it was just what an incredible event to be for all the entertainers to come together and to just, you know, raise money for the island like that. It was nice.
Frankie, is there any hurricanes that are happening now or about to happen?
Hurricane Ian hit Florida, did a lot of destruction to the buildings in Fort Myers, Florida, and beach was completely damaged in Fort Myers, Florida, because it was mighty bad there.
That was the last one, but there's no new hurricanes coming?
No. Nicole was the previous one that hit Florida, brought a lot of rain in eastern seaboard of the United States. And Bonaventure, Quebec, or Monica Bolio was that. They brought a lot of snow in Bonaventure, Quebec on Wednesday.
So no new hurricanes. Frankie, who's got the worst weather in the whole wide world?
Worst weather, whole wide world. That's around Iceland and things like this. It's got the worst weather, whole wide world. It's like a Buffalo, 150 centimeters of snow tomorrow. From lake effect snow, like so much snow in Buffalo, New York, starting tomorrow because the snow squalls coming from Lake Erie. Winds come from the southwest and the northwest. Of driving all the Arctic air all the way from the Arctic, then it's going to drive to southwest of Buffalo. That's going to bring so much snow in Buffalo.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happened before. I mean, they had 6 feet come down in much the same way in 2015, I believe it was, and you could see in the satellite map. We've talked about this a number of times.
It was 2014, not 2015. It was 2014.
It was 2014, and you could see on the satellite maps, about 20, 30 kilometers off the shore of Buffalo. It's like clear skies, and you could just see like the Lake Erie was broiling and sending this precipitation directly onto Buffalo. It was just cycling, just continuous precipitation, insane lake effect snow. And that happened in 1999. I was living in Hamilton at the time. And Mel Lastman called in the Army even. It was crazy. Frankie, were you on any good podcasts this week?
Yes, I was on the guy from Winnipeg Manitoba show on Wednesday afternoon. On Tuesday night, I was on the Poor Man's show, and I was on another show called Donna Man, his podcast with Dave and Sam Duncan.
Yeah, I sort of missed that one yesterday. I totally didn't. I've been doing firewood a lot in the morning and not
Did you hear about
near
that?
the house.
Back on Tuesday, on Monday to Thursday, I was on the Compound Media related podcast, and I was on Base Guy show last Friday.
Nice work. How many subscribers this week, Frankie, on your YouTube channel?
281,000 subscribers, and I did my forecast for Buffalo, New York. They're getting around 50 plus inches of snow. So much snow in Buffalo, New York. Have your snow equipment, snow plows, and snowboards and shovels up to maximum power. This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station, live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Massive lake effect snow is headed towards Buffalo, New York on Friday, November the 18th, 2022. It's going to bring up to 36 to 48 inches of snow. It could be up to 50 or more inches of snow in Buffalo, New York. It's going to bring a lot of snow since the Great Lakes are very warm. Winds going to come from the northwest and southwest all the way from Lake Erie. It's going to bring so much snow in Buffalo, New York and surrounding areas. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to cost blowing and drifting snow, reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous driving conditions, and streets, roads, highways, the interstate highways will be so covered. Winds will be coming from southwest. Since the Lake Erie is very warm and the air is going to be real cold, that's going to trigger so much snow in Buffalo, New York. It's going to bring up to more than 50 inches of snow possible. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to cost so much snow on the ground. have your snow blowers up to maximum power, and have your snow plows up to maximum power. Have your shovels and snow scoops up to maximum power as well. Have your heat pumps and furnaces and up to maximum power. Make sure you have your smartphone, cell phones, laptops, tablets charged, and order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure to have your winter boots, winter jackets, hats, and gloves, scarves, and ski pants ready. It's going to bring so much deep snow in Buffalo, New York, and surrounding areas. It's going to bring severe, heavy snow coming from the Great Lakes. Since it's going to bring extreme lake effect snow in Buffalo, New York, and in surrounding areas. It's going to bring dangerously heavy snow in Buffalo, New York, and surrounding areas. It's going to bring real heavy snow. Make sure you have your furnaces ready. Your heat pumps ready as well. Be extra careful driving the car and walking so you don't get in a car accident, so you don't slip and fall. Since it's going to bring so much snow in Buffalo, New York, and Rochester, New York, and surrounding areas. If you have anybody living in Buffalo, New York, be prepared for massive flake effect snow starting on Friday, November 18, 2022. It's going to last for the next 3 days on Saturday, November 19th, and Sunday, November 20th, 2022. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in the massive flake effect snow.
Order your Chinese food, order your pizzas.
For people living in Buffalo, New York, even Keemstar, a YouTuber is prepared for that. I sent him the video, he retweeted it. Keemstar is prepared.
And I think Frankie recommends at least 2 tubs of chicken balls when you're preparing for the big storm.
Oh my God, pelicans are coming. The dog's going.
Okay, Brandon Hauk.
Well, the storm continues with fairly light snow now, so the snow is definitely lightened up, and the winds are starting to settle down a little bit, but you can see what the roads look like right now. Lots of blowing, lots of drifting here. We got pretty much a monster drift trying to develop here in the station parking lot, which is pretty incredible as well. And we've got, once again, Highway 1 is, well, I would say closed between Brooks and Bazzano from Highway 36 to Bazzano, as they're still trying to clean up that multi-vehicle collision. And the detour is up towards, let's say, Rosemary over towards Bazzano. But once again, travel not recommended on Highway 1 or Highway 36 at this time. These are the conditions of the roads. Lots of blowing, lots of drifting. We're going to be covering this. It looks like we're going to be covering this all night long. Stay tuned for updates. We've got those updates right here in Real Country 105.7 and Boom 101.1.
Over in Brooks, Alberta, Brandon Hauk, he's the man who works at 105.7 FM, the Real Country radio station there. And it's 2 weeks. I forgot to say to everybody, sorry that I was sick last week. I got the norovirus, and so I woke up that morning and running down the stairs to make it to the bathroom. I didn't make it to the bathroom. In fact, I didn't even make it to the stairs, and it was the most projectile thing I ever experienced. And then I was like, I'm going to be okay. I can do it. And then my ex-wife's like, can you pick up the children this afternoon? I was like, sure. And then I was like sleeping at 2 in the afternoon. Like, I don't know where I can get up. There was no show last week, and I missed a whole lot of things that happened over the course of 2 weeks. I'm sure all of our listeners out there, I want to apologize to you for being sick. It's totally unacceptable of my free volunteer commitment to college campus community radio and things like that. Brandon Hauk, you never miss time from Real Country Radio, do you?
No, especially this week. I think I have 4 hockey games going on this week, and it's been go, 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 go. This is the first time I've sat down in 4 days, I think.
And then you were just at the Santa Claus parade.
Brandon Hauk's birthday. This Saturday's Brandon Hauk's birthday. I'll say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandon Hauk. Happy birthday to you. I sent you a video of myself wishing you a happy birthday. You're going to post that on Saturday.
Yes, that was the best happy birthday song I ever heard in my life. Thank you very much. I am touched.
So you're at the Santa Claus parade tonight?
Oh, yes. It was cold. My hand is now thawed, so it's good. So I can play with my buttons here, I guess. But anyways, so yeah. Yeah, we were Santa Claus parade tonight. It started at 6 and we went at least 10 kilometers down the road, moving very slowly, waving at at least 1,000 people. It was a fun time tonight, I have to say. And then we ended off the parade, and we got out of there as quickly as we can because there's at least 1,000 people moving into downtown for the Moonlight Madness with festivities. I think they're still going on right now too. So
I was going
anybody
to answer
out
my
there-
next question, which is what's so important that going on that in the weekend where Brandon has to have, or Brooks has to have its Santa Claus parade on a Thursday night rather than a Saturday, like every sensible community in Canada has ever done.
Well, it's it's a big thing. They do like they do like concerts in the park and stuff, fire pits, and everyone gathers around and has this is for tonight, and then the Festival of Trees goes for 3 days. So that's you walk through a whole festival of looking at Christmas trees and stuff if you're into that kind of stuff. So
it's November 17th.
I know. so they all start.
Check it out. I park in front of some Christmas trees.
There you go. Those are some good looking Christmas trees.
I put all my hazards to light them up a little bit.
So yeah, we did the Santa Claus parade tonight, and we were moving at least 10 kilometers an hour down the road. And I guess I'd call myself the parade marshal because they put us right up at the front with the police officers there. So there you have your parade marshal is right here on the Comedeorological report tonight.
Brandon, almost as powerful as the police. How?
Pretty much, just about this close. That's right. And then they put poor old Santa Claus at the back of the parade. So, anyways,
He's the least important. He's the least important. He's at the back. Brandon's the most
That's right.
important. And other videos you sent me last week were of incredibly bad weather.
Oh, yes. Last week we had, well, the good news with this Santa Claus parade, it definitely does look like Christmas here with over 40 centimeters of snow on the ground and temperatures at least minus 20 out there for this parade. So that is how cold it was. And I'm so happy my hand is now thawed from waving, having my hand sticking out the window, waving at everybody, because that's the only part that got really, really cold. I was inside the vehicle, so the rest of the body was fine. So, anyways,
that's why I learned to wave with my eyebrows.
That's right. Wave your eyebrows. That's right. But everybody wanted to wave and talk to me, so that was kind of difficult, I guess. So
40 centimeters of snow. You actually have more snow than us here in Wells, BC right now, you know.
Yeah.
And that won't happen very often in the history of Brooks, Alberta. I'm sure of that.
No. And especially with the weather coming next week, we're going to start lowering those snowbanks a little bit here. But and then we also have
to start growing them here in BC.
Yeah, and then you guys start growing them in BC. That's how it works around here. We grow them here, you shrink them there, and then shrinks here, grows in BC. That's how it plays out.
Yin and yang of West Coast weather. So when does this pattern change? You had 40. Yeah. So let's get this. You had 40 centimeters of snow.
3 snowstorms, 40 centimeters, just like that. It was wild. I even had to stay in a hotel for the night because the roads were so bad. That was the situation for the first part of November. And then we dropped to minus 30 for the first time this season, record-breaking lows. So that was painful. And we got above freezing for the first time since the beginning of November, just a couple of days ago, before yet another cold front went through this week. That didn't bring much snow, but it dropped the temperature in a hurry, iced up the roads again. And yeah, it was a gong show out there on the roads for the last couple of weeks. As we go into this weekend here and into next week, we're going to see a little bit more in the way of sunshine, which will be nice, but temperature still kind of below freezing still. And we'll finally pop up above that melting point into next week with daytime highs about 2-3 degrees and maybe even 5 or 6 for some areas. So we'll start seeing a little bit of a melt go on next week, kind of that freeze thaw cycle start to develop. Meanwhile, British Columbia will get hit by more stormy weather for into next week with a couple of atmospheric rivers moving in off the BC coast there, bringing in that significant rain for the coastal sections and heavy snow for the mountains and potentially significant snowfall for the mountains, and even through the valley parts, we'll also see that milder air start to work its way in with temperatures bouncing up above the melting point. So some of that snow will also mix in with some rain into next week as well. So a little bit of a pattern flip here, which is kind of good for us because I'm already starting to get tired of winter after 2-3 weeks of it so far. With all
And
snow.
that was not funny, like November 3rd, and it was into the -20s here, and it was not funny.
No.
You know, it seems like that first cold snap of the year just keeps getting earlier and
And
earlier.
I just found it out from Trey Campbell. He said Twitter is shutting down. That's what Trey Campbell said.
I hope
Oh.
so.
What?
So-
Hold up.
Saturday for Prince George, mix of sun and cloud, high -7, periods of snow at night, low -11. Sunday, high -5, periods of snow at night, low -8. Monday, 60% chance of flurries, high of -2. 60% chance of flurries, -6 at night. 60% chance all through Tuesday, -2, -6 at night again. 30% chance of flurries Wednesday, and then we have next week, Thursday, going to be what I think is the real weather coming on Wednesday and Thursday. And what does it look like for Winnipeg, Brandon?
Yes, Winnipeg, we'll see. I have a feeling we could be dealing with some lake effect snow coming off Lake Winnipeg here in a couple of days here, with the lake still remaining opened for now. So that will allow for snow squalls to push into the Winnipeg area Friday into Saturday. So we'll likely see some snow showers persisting through the weekend. The lake effect machine is going to be continuing into early next week. And eventually, Manitoba will see some very cold Arctic air kind of hang out into northern part of the province. Looks like that very cold air mass stays in the Churchill area. And eventually, Winnipeg will tap into some of that milder air, probably by Thursday, Friday next week, bouncing up above that melting point.
There you have it.
Now you know what? Jump over this drift here. Whoop. See? It's easy. Downtown Brooks. Very snowy, blowy. Oh, what a great day. Eat a frosty. Little frosty out here. Winds gusting 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. These are the conditions here in Brooks as snow continues to fly. Wow! Cheers!
More pelicans, dogs. Say hi, Joey only.
Hi.
Say hi, Joey only.
Hi.
Hi, Joey only.
Hi.
I'm Frank O'Donnell. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report on every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Joey Only, comedian plus meteorology. Joey Only is a really nice guy. He fights fires and things like this. He lives in Wells, British Columbia. He's a firefighter in Wells, British Columbia. Joey Only is a really, really, really nice man. He's a firefighter in Wells, British Columbia. He's a comedian plus meteorology, caribou weather dude. I'm on his podcast on every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check him out on YouTube. I'm Frank O'Donnell. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report with Joey Only. Say hi, Joey Only.
Pete Galenko, I see snow out your window in Boulder, Colorado.
It is currently 18 degrees. I've been driving around, but handling my vehicle pretty well. Oh, it's been an adventure out here driving. We've had some snow. Snow melted. There's been driving in all sorts of areas. Very interesting. It's some odd phenomenons going on in an area called Aurora, Colorado. Also in some other areas of Colorado where people somehow defeated the DMVs and they just scrapped their license plates for scrap metal. And the police don't enforce that in some areas in our state now. It's like a hybrid of anarchy that's both good and bad in some places, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people are like, I wouldn't drive Lyft out there, but people appreciate me and I appreciate them. And so, but the weather has been chilly chill. I did some donuts in the empty parking lot the other day, practicing driving in the snow. I'm
That's the
from
way,
Virginia, so
man.
I'm not used to driving in the snow.
That is the way. You don't get better
Yeah,
by tiptoeing around. You get better by driving it. Get in that donut
yeah.
zone and feel where that vehicle starts to spin, man.
Been working. I worked 59 hours, 40 minutes last week. Woo! It'd always be an adventure out here.
So you were saying how you live next to Google and Twitter is doomed and Elon
Yes.
Musk is a loser and anybody who thought he was going to save the world was wrong.
Well, I've driven some Elon Musk fans. I've driven some Elon Musk fans. I also understand. I got appreciation for certain African cultures and that sort of stuff. And there's some people that don't appreciate Elon Musk, and there are some people that do appreciate Elon Musk. And like, it's really complex to explain. A lot of people are like, we need money here now, here on Earth, but also see the validity of the products that Elon Musk produces. I don't know. It's a very complex thing. But what is this stuff about Twitter going down?
Frankie says Twitter's doomed.
What I didn't hear any news. Twitter's doomed, but they're not discontinuing Twitter.
Well, no one's going to use it soon. Watching the live stream right now, Susan Payne says good evening. Hello, Susan Payne. Hello, Shelly Selinsky says hi, everyone. She says missed you all last week. I missed me last week. It was awful. Christine Jensen still laughing. Spread the Jenny. Snow event coming to Lake Erie, says Shelly Selinsky. So that's in the chat right now. So you haven't heard any specific news on Twitter, Pete, but you haven't always been in Twitter's good books, have you? They might not tell you.
No, I have not. No, I have not. And I am hoping that under new management, Twitter changes. And I spoke to some. I've been able to just drive a lot of people, network with people from all different backgrounds, driving Lyft. And the other day, I met people. Like I drove someone earlier that was a former Oracle employee. And I drove someone the other day that seemed pretty knowledgeable about Elon Musk. He was encouraging me to use Spotify. He was saying they're more of the underdog than YouTube and Google, blah blah blah. Anyway, he was a huge Elon Musk fan.
No, use YouTube because that's what you're watching our show on right now on Caribou Weather Dude YouTube.
I like YouTube though. I wish the ranking algorithms would be different. I've driven a lot of people from the music industry. I drove someone the other day that did a lot of concert setup and toured with people. I've driven some artists that have had offers from major labels like Def Jam and that sort of thing. And it seems like there's a sort of payola sort of pay to play sort of thing going on, which is a contention point that I would like to hope there could be a compromise with Google and YouTube, because I would like to get a lot of views. I like our show to get a lot of views. But I've met a lot of rappers and different types of music artists that seems like there might be a little bit suppressed until they take a major label deal and that sort of thing. It's changed. Social media has changed from when I started on social media. So yeah, so I've had some general issues with my phone and some with Twitter, though at least haven't banned me. It's an interesting thing, though. A lot of people, I've learned a lot about the music industry, about how a lot of people will take not so very good deals to get the fame. Though I've been discussing with people how to monetize using merchandise and that sort of stuff.
Well, that's what I want to do is get a T-shirt company going for interior weather and wilderness watchers. As I need more fundraising. Like I got my GoFundMe going on right now because I didn't get my social. We have a thing here in Canada called employment insurance, and I didn't get mine, which I should have got, and now I have no money, no income basically right now. So I'm started to GoFundMe to try to raise some money to get some
no income.
And so my truck's in the shop right now. I'm completely just kiboshed in life, right? So I managed to raise a few dollars through that. And certainly if people go to Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel and just subscribe and share the videos and try to grow my channel, that's another way you could really help me right now, because I need some help right now. I do a lot and I can't do it all. This is the GoFundMe right here. Support Support Joey only, interior weather and wilderness watchers. And look at that, already $1,535 raised. So that helped me send food for my children, and it helped me get my firewood in. And I'm currently now above zero overdraft funding. It was $1,000, but I only have up to $1,200 on my overdraft, like I can use. So yeah, that's been my project this week. Is I've been trying to.
That's impressive. They got some funding already.
I got 15,000 people on interior weather and wilderness watchers who I've been for years trying to give weather to, and I'm trying to make my videos be more than just kind of a hobby. I want it to be something that I get better at and spend more time at and have budget for and can go places and do things. I don't want to work a normal job. That sounds crazy. Because I want to be a forest firefighter in the summer, and I want to make YouTube videos. Like, I don't have big aspirations in life. That's what I'm doing right now. That's on my GoFundMe. Support Joey only.
Those sound like pretty good aspirations. If it works out for you.
Well, yeah, I'd spend more time just like straight up hiking in the wilderness and having a budget to do things instead of just always being.
On the GoFundMe, there's a lot of trolls and haters out there. You better be careful on GoFundMe because there's a lot of trolls and haters out there and clowns trying to. They make each other, like especially those teenagers and things like this. And then there are a lot of clowns and trolls on the internet out there.
Well, the good thing about GoFundMe is they can't comment anything if they don't make money. So if trolls want to comment, I welcome their comments. Please leave a donation, and you can go on my GoFundMe and tell me what a loser you think I am. That I'm totally open to that. Joey only loser.
Trolls want beef, they can come get it.
Thank you. What do you want to talk about this week?
Saturday night is Gary and Dino show. Boo Zoom. I got an interview with Base Guy Show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Atlantic time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard time. Base Guy Show.
He still has no new computer, does he?
Base Guy's computer is really, really old.
He should start a GoFundMe.
Yes, he should.
You know, that's normal these days that people, they want to make projects. They want to be artists, and they need budget to do it. And you know what I don't want to do is write grants and spend all my life trying to write grants and survive that way. Then having to change my product to
people doing fast entertainment on TikTok and things like this. A lot of clowns and trolls are taking over the world, and there's a lot of them out there, and that they don't know any better. They're against everything.
Yeah, all they got to do now is they just got to lip sync to some song and show some part of their body, and then they get like 1 million views. And here I am making videos about weather and nature, and I get like 100 views. I'm like happy. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And my videos are good, you know, like good enough. Come on.
Yeah.
For like the quality of entertainment that's out there in the world, it's good enough to be getting more than 100 views. This show should be getting more, you know, like we're glad it's being heard on the radio, but you know, I put the video version of the show up and we get 30 views. So, I mean, what do I have to do to get sponsors, to get money, to get Elon Musk to give me $1 million? What do I have to do?
I've consulted with a lot of passengers that are successful, some not successful, with views and such, and yeah, I think it does. So it seems like having taking on sponsors and whatnot, that type of stuff, and the technology overlords will broaden the reach.
I got major news for you. They're reprinting the copies of my book in spring 2023, according to Nimbus Publishing up in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Hey! And it's a school curriculum in some places already, isn't it?
I felt it. Be prepared to find out. Got a like Twitter and everything. It's getting reprinted by Nimbus Publishing this spring of 2023. They're going to reprint copies of my book and things like this, according to Terry Lee, the general manager of Nimbus Publishing.
This is it right here. Be prepared. The Frankie McDonald Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything. And if you open the front page, no signature, no. Here you go, Joey. But nonetheless, I have my copy, not signed. When I come to Sydney, Nova Scotia on April 9th, 2024.
Monday, April 8th, 2024. Total solar eclipse. You will be arriving in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday, April 5th, 2024. Total solar eclipse headed for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8th, 2024. a rare event.
Frankie
Rare,
dedicated this book to his grandparents, his aunt, his uncle, and his father. And it's got 7 chapters. Chapter 1 is Finding His Voice. Chapter 2 is Map Quest. Number 3 is Weather Watcher. Number 4 is Bikes and Bullies. Number 5 is Game On. Number 6 is Act Fast. Chapter 7, All Together Now, and then Weather Quiz at the end. Frankie, tell me about Chapter 1, Finding Your Voice.
When I was a little boy, I learned how to speak and things like this back in the day. During the 1980s.
What's Chapter 2, Map Quest about?
Studying maps and things like this when I was a kid.
What's Chapter 3, Weather Watcher about, Frankie?
I used to watch the weather on TV a lot when I was a kid.
What's Bikes and Bullies about?
That means I had quite a few bullies when I was in elementary school back in the day.
What did you do?
I ignored them and things like this.
What is Chapter 5, Game On about?
Playing video games back in the old days.
What's Chapter 6, Act Fast about?
Act fast, getting prepared for storms, things like this.
And what's All Together Now about?
It's like my childhood days and things like this. Pictures of me when I was a kid and things like this. And finding my voice and things like this. The 17-year-old Frank down in April 2001's in that picture too.
It says in the back, ever wonder where clouds come from or how meteorologists predict the weather? This joyful book starring Nova Scotia's favorite weather reporter Frankie McDonald and written by author Sarah Soller shares stories from Frankie's early years, along with facts about all things funny, rainy, snowy, and stormy. Filled with pictures, graphics, and advice from Frankie himself, this book has everything you need to be prepared. That's a great book. And it has, at the very end, Frankie's weather quiz. So, question 1. Are you ready, Pete?
I'm prepared.
A land-based funnel-shaped storm is called A, a hurricane, B, a blizzard, C, a tornado, or D, a tsunami.
Wait, ask it again.
A land-based funnel-shaped storm.
A land-based one, a tornado, or
Ding, 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 ding,
could
ding,
also
ding, ding,
be
ding, ding. Correct.
dust devil, or
Which of these things don't help fight climate change? A, drinking tap water instead of bottled water. B, turning the tap off when you brush your teeth. C, make sure your electronics are always plugging in. D, turning off the lights when you aren't using them.
drive more gasoline to support global warming is the correct answer there.
Yes, make sure your electronics are always plugged in and all your vehicles are always running. What should you never do during a thunderstorm? Take a nap, swim in a lake, C, read a book, D, play a video game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You shouldn't do any of those things. Don't swim in a lake, though. So here's some of the wonderful weather quiz questions at the end of Frankie McDonald's Be Prepared, the Frankie McDonald Guide to Life, the Weather, and Everything. When does your book come out, Brandon Hauk?
Well, I have like a little coloring book thingy, but have to try.
My book is released on June 15, 2018. Brandon, you should get a copy of my book on Amazon.
Yes, I should, and that's what I will do. Absolutely.
I think one of you guys should send me an action figure because I can't order them in BC. That's all I want for Christmas is a Frankie McDonald action figure. Action figures can kick. When's your action figure come out, Brandon?
Action figure? Well,
First released February 2nd, 2018.
this is my sticker.
Hey,
This is Doppler Boy on it.
That's what we need is the Doppler bobblehead.
That's right.
The bobbler.
I kind of feel like a bobblehead some days, but yeah, that's right. That's how we do
I
it.
know what you mean.
You want to hear the craziest story for the week? that I
Saying
found
yes.
out?
What's the craziest word for the week?
Well, I'll tell you the craziest story from this week. So a man in China, he ran a marathon for 3.5 hours while chain smoking.
Yeah,
So
someone
he
was telling me
smoked.
that when I was having a smoke with them the other day.
Yeah, he ran that whole marathon. Didn't take a breath or didn't take a break. Just kept smoking and running.
Well, I think it is how you do it, and I'll tell you why. Because if you like smoking that much, you better exercise.
There's a lot of pelicans and dogs. They finally got away. Both pelicans and dogs finally got away. Thanks for watching, Frank Dowd.
I was just at AutoZone earlier, and I put in some coolant. I put in some de-icer into my windshield wiper fluid. But then I was at the gas station. It's 18 degrees outside. It's cold.
That's
So
-7 in Canadian.
actually, I hadn't refilled my windshield wiper fluid before now. So I actually first put the coolant, not the coolant. I first put the windshield wiper fluid in the space for the coolant. I was real cool, and I was in a hurry. But then I read that if you put windshield wiper fluid in your coolant thing, it can cause something else to expand and cause the car to shut down. I drove straight to an advanced auto parts shop, and some people there helped me, and I siphoned out the windshield wiper fluid from the coolant container, and then I put in coolant into the coolant place. So there's windshield wiper fluid in there, and there's coolant in the right spot now. So now my car will work just fine.
This is the Joey Only's version of the fireplace channel.
That's right. This is the part where the hand comes in and puts some wood in there.
That's right.
Oh, hold up.
And
You're
that's
speaking
right
of
before
putting
the
wood
part
in
where the
something.
guy starts smoking a big bong.
A big bong. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Check this out. There's a Wells Fargo over there. Fargo. Y'all remember
Fargo.
the thing from the wood chipper in Wells Fargo? Put wood in there, not people.
I live in Weld, and we are far gone here.
One in Fargo, North Dakota.
You are
There you go.
listening to the Comedeorological Report on CFR 88.7 FM, CKUW 95.9 FM. Yes, it's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada, and suck it does indeed. You can always see the live version of the show when it comes out. Well, because what we do is every Thursday night we record the show live, so we do a Zoom call, but then we live stream that. This is sort of confusing. So we live stream the show, but then we record the conversation, and then I edit it down to an hour long, 57-minute long show, and then we put it on my YouTube the next day. Joey Only Carry Weather Dude. So 2 versions of the show end up on my YouTube, one in the live channel, one in the live section, and the final version. And then we send the MP3 to the radio stations, and then they distribute it through the airwaves to the listeners. That's what we do here every week. And so we talk about how much the weather sucks in Canada and abroad. This week we had Janet Dermody, but she disappeared right before we were going to talk to her some more about the hurricane and everything. But we got Frankie McDonald as always. Frankie McDonald, the world famous weatherman. And we got Brandon Hauk from Real Country Radio 105.7 FM in Brooks, Alberta. And our friend Pete Galenko is down driving around in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, right now there's a Chili's right here, and then across the street there's a Panda Express, a Firehouse Subs, and a Wingstop. Man, now I'm hungry.
Is that really unique? Is that unique though? Is that just like every neighborhood in America looks like that now?
Oh, not every neighborhood in America, no.
It's like, well, I mean, like every town you go to has got the same box stores.
Looks so good right now. Yeah, but there's a lot of really not just box stores, but there's a lot of really like cool mom and pop places out here too.
Can you go to Chili's?
Yeah, I go to Chili's. I haven't been to a Chili's in a long time, but
take us to Chili's. I want to know what a Chili's is. I've never been to one. I don't know. Do we have Chili's in Canada, Brandon?
Yeah, there's one in Banff, Alberta, actually.
Chili's is sort of like think of like a little bit more of a like sort of like Applebee's, but a little bit more Cajun zest to it. Though I drive a lot of employees that work at these sort of places. And I also drive people that own mom and pop stores. And hold up, wait a second. It looks like almost like there's some.
I know the theme song for Chili's. Welcome to Chili's! Something like that. I think it goes. I've seen the commercial on TV. That's
right on. Pete Galenko is.
I think I might go into Chili's. What time is it?
about
It's 7:45 Pacific.
45.
I am hungry. I am hungry.
Go to Chili's and take us into Chili's and let's see Chili's.
All right, let's go to the Chili's. I am hungry. Lord knows I'm hungry. I usually like to go to like taco trucks and stuff like that out here. There's so many good taco trucks that like really good Latin food, that sort of stuff. But I drive a lot of chain restaurant employees too. All right, hold on 1 minute.
Frankie, have you ever been to Chili's restaurant?
I've been to Taco Bell and habaneros and things like this before.
But never to a Chili's?
I had chili at home. I never had chili at a restaurant. I had Taco Bell and I had habaneros and things like this. Both restaurants, habaneros and Taco Bell.
I think this is a restaurant that's actually called Chili's.
They don't have that in my hometown in North Canada.
Yeah, they have it in Banff. I know because one meteorologist actually from Virginia, chief meteorologist, Aubrey is her name. She used to own the Chili's in Banff, Alberta, but now she's the meteorologist in Virginia. So that's pretty cool. And I met her over the tweeter there. And then there's another Chili's at the Calgary International Airport. They got one when you go and get ready to take your flight wherever. Especially, I think that's the international part too, where for those flying in and out of Calgary into the U.S. and such. So I know there's there's some other Chili's in Calgary. I'm not quite sure, but those are the two I've known of so far.
Prince George only has mild chili Indian cuisine. There you go, Pete Galenko in a Chili's. Let's see this place.
I am now in Chili's and check out Presidente Margarita. Fresh, interesting side there. I want to see what the appetizers be. Yes.
Do you seat yourself, or do they seat you?
Is there like a stars appetizer specials thing going on?
He's ordering appetizers.
So I have.
This is a big deal to me because here in Wells we have no food at all. You can't just go to a restaurant right now. There's nothing to go to. I had a fox outside my house screaming at my house. He's like, "Do you have any food?" I'm like, "No, man, nothing's open."
Okay, so I found there's 3 of them in Alberta, one in Calgary, Banff, and Edmonton.
There are no Chili's in BC. I do have you muted there, Pete, because
those are the only 3 Chili's in Canada in Alberta.
Wow. We'll get Pete to unmute himself. We muted him there when he was talking to the waitress and the server.
All right, I muted myself. All right, cool.
So what kind of appetizers they got?
They have dip duo, white queso curly fries, burger bites and curly fries, Chili's Philly curly fries, Chili's Philly curly fries. I think I might get that with alcohol opinions. Usually I like spicy food, though. Sometimes not so much. But,
lots of curly fries. Lots of curly fries.
Y'all have like a broccoli cheddar or clam chowder?
Broccoli cheddar.
Oh, baked potato. Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Can you show us the place, Pete? Show us the room. What does it look like in a Chili's?
I got you, buddy. I'm Steven, okay? All right, thanks. Thank you.
Did that guy just call himself stupid?
What was that?
Did that guy just call himself stupid? Can you show us the room? Show us what it looks like in there.
Here, it looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. It's like a big room, and it's got wooden ceilings, and it's got posters on the wall. So this is
a poker game going on up there. Football game going on over there. Some guy over there doing all the Zamboni thing, cleaning the ice or whatever.
Poker, Zamboni. Okay, well that's Pete Galenko going to Chili's. Can you get them to say something funny? Like when you're talking to the waiter, can you say something funny? Frankie, what do you got there?
These are my fans.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. What are your names?
I'm Chris. This is Logan. Yeah, Logan.
Hey, Chris and Logan. I'm Joey Only here in Wells, British Columbia. This is our radio show we're making right now.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, and all the time people just walk up and say hi to Frankie, and then they come on the show like this. So it's like one of the highlights of every show.
I'm a worldwide. Wait a minute. I'm a worldwide big celebrity.
Everyone knows
Yes.
I'm big in the whole world now.
Yes, you are, Frank. 281,000 subscribers on YouTube. You're pretty big in the world as far as I'm concerned. Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for coming on the show. You've been listening to us on CFR 88.7 FM, CKW 95.9 FM. This is the Comedeorological Report. I'm trying to get Pete to do something funny.
Can I get a loaded baked potato bowl to go?
Can you get the waiter to say something on the show?
Manager here is going to each make
Just one, yes.
So I'm sorry that they're making it. I just need to know.
Can you get her to say hi to Frankie McDonald? Pete? Ah, he can't hear us.
I'm doing great so far.
I got malted chocolate cake over there. I'm on a podcast, sorry.
Yeah, get her to say something on the podcast. Come on.
Yeah, we started.
I'm doing great. I was on the Ghetto Basement Owen Gonzalo, a podcast before you.
Hey, Pete, get these people on. He's not hearing me. I want him to get the people at Chili's to come on the show and be like, hi, Frankie, we're the staff at Chili's.
And guess what? Did you hear about that? And I was on the previous podcast before you is the Ghetto Basement Owen Gonzalo.
Well, where can people find you on the internet if they don't hear you on this podcast or on the Ghetto Basement or on We Don't Have Cookies or on a Big Gay Base Guy show or on Gary and Dino? Where can they find you if they don't happen to be listening to one of those shows, Frankie?
My Twitter is at Frankie McD. My Facebook is Frankie McDonald. My Instagram is Frankie McD984. My TikTok is FrankDell984. My Clapper is FrankDell984. My Twitch is FrankDell984. My Snapchat is Frankie MACDON. And my LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves.
I'm Joey Only. You can find the show on Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Go on there and check out some of the videos. I fell a bunch of trees this week. So some cool videos of trees falling. I made a video review of Andor. That's pretty funny. I have a fox on there screaming because it's horny for my cat. Lots of new videos on my channel this week. Do me a favor, check it out. I'm trying to grow my channel into something cool. I'm putting energy and effort into making videos that are fun. Okay, and we got Brandon Hauk. Thanks for coming on the show this week. Pete Galenko, thanks for coming on the show. We had Janet Dermody at the top of the hour. Too bad we lost her because I didn't really get to finish that conversation. But maybe next week she'll be on. You never know. We'll see you next time on the Comedeorological Report. I'm Joey Only. Bye for now.
Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joey.
I'm Frank McDonald. You're listening to Comedeorological Report on every Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Atlantic time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'm on his show every Thursday night. Joey Only, comedian plus meteorology. He's a comedian meteorological weather report. He's a nice guy. I'm on his podcast every Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Atlantic time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Joey Only's a really nice guy. He fights fires and things like this. He's a weatherman. He lives in Wells, British Columbia. I'm Frank McDonald. You're listening to Comedeorological Report with Joey Only. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joey. Hi.